Good morning. Oh my gosh, you guys must have had a really late night. You have to realize I've been in Silicon Valley now for well over 6 years with Google and now with Dropbox. The average age of our employees is well under 30, and we have coffee, Red Bull, and Monster energy drinks everywhere. I'm used to a lot of energy. So let's try that again. Good morning. Better. Still not as good as a 24-year-old on caffeine, but you get the gist. I'm excited to be here with you today and have the opportunity to share with you some of the journey that we're on at Dropbox and some of the trends that we're seeing in industry, but more importantly, what it means to you and how you can build your business and transform the way that you operate. So let's start with some of the trends that we're seeing. In a recent survey, 60% of CEOs cited that they see cloud-based technology as being very strategic to their organizations. So now when you stop and you think about this, you realize that at their core, CEOs themselves are simply consumers. They have iPhones, they have Android devices, they have a multiplicity of apps and cloud-based services which they use in their own personal lives to transform the way that they operate and they work. And so it's just simply a natural extension of their personal life that they take to the office and they start to realize there's a different way in which they can operate to transform their business. Now, for the line of business leaders, who we saw yesterday, actually are starting to comprise a greater percentage of the decision makers around IT purchases. They don't necessarily have a clear vision of what software as a service means for them or how they can transform their business. And this is a wonderful opportunity for you to give them guidance. But what this essentially means is that there's a top-down pressure coming in the organization as they start to look for ways in which to engage software as a service and cloud-based services. On the other end of the spectrum, we are seeing that 90% of cloud-based services being brought into an enterprise are being brought in by the employees themselves. So employees, again, are their consumers, and they themselves know the way they like to live and the way they like to operate. And so they are starting to bring in the technologies that they prefer. This started a long time ago with the BYOD movement, but it has now transitioned. It is now BYOC, bring your own cloud. We, in our personal lives, have all embraced different cloud computing technologies, and we're taking them into the office space. So now you also have an upward pressure coming. So you have the downward pressure from the line of business owners and the upward pressure from the employees bringing in the tools that they prefer to use. Well, who's caught in the middle? It's the IT administrator. The consumerization of IT has shifted the balance of power to the employee. They now have the power to bring with them the tools that they prefer to use. Now, it's part of your job as the best-in-class resellers and providers in the industry to be aware of the adoption trends across software as a service, operating systems, devices, and more, and all the challenges that come with it, including data fragmentation, mobilization of workforces, the shifting cost strategies from CapEx to OpEx, and cross-platform security problems. Dropbox offers a solution that solves these challenges, but more importantly, it allows you to take the IT administrator and make them the superheroes of their organization. They no longer have to spend their time policing their workforce for software that's being installed or devices being brought to the office, but you can empower them to embrace the organic adoption of tools that they choose to use themselves. This actually allows teams to be more collaborative, which allows them to be more productive, which allows the company to be more competitive. All of this done in a secure environment using tools that they are electing to use themselves. So you can imagine adoption goes through the roof, as opposed to IT offering solutions that they don't want, forcing them to try to adopt. So identifying these opportunities adds real value to your customers, but it also strengthens your business. Oh. You can't have a technology summit without a technology problem. But that's at the core of why we're here, is identifying these opportunities. That's what a rainmaker is. They find the opportunities and they capitalize on them. And so what I want to share with you in the next few minutes is how Dropbox can help you make money in the short term, the medium term, and even 10 years from now. So we integrate with a variety of products that you already sell today. You don't even need to change your sales motions to work with Dropbox. By bridging hardware and software together, we help you create differentiated solutions so that you can stand out to your customers as adding real and distinct value. We can also allow, for those of you who have not yet taken that step into recurring revenue, as Darren just talked about at great length, the ability to innovate the way that you operate and accelerate your productivity and your profitability. So if we look at Dropbox over the past 8 years, we actually have a very rich partner history in an ecosystem. We've spent a great deal of time partnering with some of the biggest names in tech in the industry: Microsoft, Adobe, Autodesk, SAP, IBM, and many others. In fact, we have over 300,000 technology integrations into the Dropbox product. Again, all into this notion of being able to plug and play into the things that you're already selling today. We bridge the gap between the end-user productivity tools and the content to create those solutions. But in the end, it's all about differentiation. Bringing these things together allows you to create a differentiated solution for your customers. The partners with whom we operate with are transforming their conversations. They're not just talking to their customers anymore about server migrations and data storage and backup, but we're enabling them to have true business value-added conversations around data organization, team collaboration, mobile workforce productivity. And our partners are layering managed services on top of us to deepen their relationships with their customers. And as you saw in the previous presentation, doing that also exponentially increases your profitability and your revenue. So let's talk about the notion of recurring revenue for a moment. For those of you who have already stepped into the recurring revenue stream, you've started to see the benefits. Some of you already did a cannonball into that stream, but some of you have yet to even tip your toe into that stream. But for those of you who have made that journey, you understand the economics implied. Renee said yesterday that this is a land grab, and it's really true. You need to capture the customers now, because every incremental year that you keep that customer becomes more profitable. The first year renewal is more profitable than the upfront sale because you've already absorbed the cost of sale. The second, third, fourth, fifth year renewals can become increasingly profitable to you, so you see a hockey stick effect. But what this implies is that you need to choose SaaS providers that are sticky. You need to retain these customers over time to achieve the full potential of profitability, and that's where Dropbox adds a great value. One of our best direct sales motion is a land and expand motion. We know that if we can get into a company and we can land some of the population into Dropbox, it's not uncommon for us to get a call from that customer a few months later wanting to expand that footprint. It's not uncommon for us to renew at 100+% because we renew the original license base and then we get the upsell because they want more. As a sales rep, wouldn't you like a product in your portfolio that once you do the initial sell continues to sell itself? That's what Dropbox offers. So all that's great, but unless the opportunity in the market is big, it's really worthless. So let's address that for a minute. Let's look at a few other key trends that we've seen. We know that 87% of millennials want tools that are consumer-like. They want to operate at the office the way they operate at home. Millennials are the fastest growing percentage of the emerging workforce. We know that $51 billion is being poured by industry into SaaS development in the next 2 years. We also know that 70% of companies surveyed say that they're going to be implementing a file sync and share solution in the next 2 years. So you put all this together. I think the simplest way to put this is the analogy that Wayne Gretzky's famous quote when he asked why he was so successful. And we all know that he stated that he didn't skate to where the puck was, he skated to where it will be. So where is the puck going? Well, 87% of millennials want consumer tools, 51 billion being poured into SaaS development with 70% of companies wanting a file sync and share service. The puck is going to a cloud-based collaboration tool. So where is Dropbox in all of this? How many of you have a Dropbox account? Show of hands. I can't even count the hands that went up. Of course you do. 50 million, 500 million people have a Dropbox account. We have 3.3 billion connections in our network. A connection is data shared between people and devices. Billions of connections in our network. And 8 million businesses are using a form of Dropbox today. We are where the puck is going. Now, if I were sitting in your seat, I would look at this and I would be a little skeptical. I'd say, well, that's great. You've done a great job at the proliferation of your consumer tool, but can you monetize? Well, we as a company have been working on this for the past few years, and I'm happy to share the results with you. In 3 years, we've been able to take out of that 8 million plus companies and monetize 150,000 of them for you. So let me put that in context for you. So that's in a 3-year period. There's an alternative solution in the marketplace that actually has been around for 8 years as well. And they, from the very get-go, have been focused on the enterprise space. And in 8 years, they've accumulated 150,000. We did that in 3 years. And every quarter, we add tens of thousands of net new logos to that 150,000. We have 52% of the Fortune 500 now paying for our service. I guarantee you almost all of the Fortune 500 are using Dropbox in some form, but 52% of them are now paying for it. Which really leads into the last data point, which is our fastest growing segment is the large account space. We have very large companies now willing to pay for and adopt the business product from Dropbox. We're everywhere. People are willing to pay for us. So this is a wonderful opportunity. And this is actually part of the reason why I left Google to come to Dropbox, is I saw the momentum, I saw the opportunity, and how real it is. So as a company, we had a couple of choices to make in terms of how we continue to monetize. We want to grab all the 8 million businesses that are using us today. Now, we could have gone with a completely direct approach, but we want to keep our customer first. We don't want to force our customers to engage us directly if that is not how they prefer to acquire our products. We know that they have trusted relationships, and so in order to put our customers first, we found that we need to put our partners first. Our customers have trusted relationships with you. So instead of us continuing to build out a direct sales force and to pursue that, we would rather invest our time and our money and our efforts in working with you to enable you to do that for us. As of January 1st of this year, we've implemented new policies internally so that a Dropbox representative sales rep will not see an extra penny in their pocket if they take a deal direct. In fact, they get more money if they work with a partner on a deal. That's that important to us. So as we looked at making channel very front and center for us, we started looking around at our options. And we realized we could not find in Silicon Valley another born-in-the-cloud player who had bet heavily on multi-tier distribution. And perhaps historically, distribution wasn't ready for SaaS. But what we quickly realized as we started putting our strategy together is that there were a very, very thin veneer, a select few that understood the vision of what it took to operate SaaS in a distribution environment. Ingram Micro is so far ahead of the distribution pack in this regard, it was a clear choice for us. The vision that you saw yesterday around the Odin platform and the continuing expansion, it's amazing, and it validates our strategy to go with Ingram. But more importantly, it's a clear signal to us. Ingram Micro is now a technology company. They share the same DNA as Dropbox. They have product development, innovation cycles, and that matters to us. But our partnering efforts are bearing fruit. As I mentioned before, we have 300,000 technology integrations in the market today. We now see 500 billion API calls to our product each year. That is a very clear signal that our product is being used and it's integrated in ways we can't even imagine. So numerous we can't even count. Our current ecosystem is about 2,200 partners. But through our relationship with Ingram Micro, we want to stop talking about our partners in terms of thousands and start talking about it in terms of tens of thousands. We've launched on the marketplace in North America and Canada in January of this year with phenomenal results. And I'm excited to share with you that we've extended that marketplace agreement to cover Europe, Australia, and New Zealand. And I promise you, you'll see more announcements coming for other countries and geographies throughout the year as we move forward. Collaboration technology is changing the way that people operate. It changes the way that people engage each other. It changes the way they interact, the way they create data, the way they share data, and it accelerates productivity. And National Geographic, they use Dropbox for all of their remote photographers and reporters all over the world who, no matter where they are, can instantly upload their information to be shared with their editors back at headquarters. It has dramatically increased their productivity cycles. Under Armour is another wonderful example. Under Armour, as you can well imagine, as part of their product development cycle, they deal with massive design files. Now, these files historically have been so big that there is no legacy email or file sharing system on the market that could handle the magnitude of these files, forcing Under Armour to put them on an external hard drive and FedEx those disks around the world to all their partners so that they can see the files and work together and collaborate. Since implementing Dropbox, that is no longer a problem. Our system can handle the magnitude of their files with ease, allowing them to instantly share them with dozens of people across dozens of devices, dramatically increasing their time to market with new products. Macmillan Publishing is another one who's using us in innovative ways. They've reinvented their whole printing process and cycle using our open APIs. Here, more locally, Arizona State University has standardized on Dropbox as a collaboration platform for all of their students and faculty so that they can better integrate and work together. But this is a time of transformation. As I mentioned earlier, CEOs and lines of business, they're looking to adopt a cloud solution. They don't quite have that vision. They look to you to be the thought leaders on the way forward. How is it that they can transform their business? How can they work together better, more collaboratively, using the tools they already have? Google connected people with their information. Facebook connected people with other people. Dropbox connects all of these things together. We connect people with their information, with other people across all devices, across all geographies seamlessly. We at Dropbox are going to continue to work on our product sets to allow people to find new and better ways to connect, collaborate, and accelerate and transform their business. And we will look to you to help accelerate the spread of our product and, frankly, all SaaS-based products and transform the way that people work in the marketplace. We're really excited to be on this journey with you, and we would love to engage you in a conversation. We invite you to come to our booth, number 407. Engage us in some conversations. We've had some wonderful conversations already, but we'd really love to hear from you directly. What is it that you're looking to do? Let us show you how we can help transform the way that you engage your customers and up-level your conversations to business value-added conversations if you're not already there, or augment the ones that you're already having. There's a lot of extra value and, frankly, extra margin that you could be adding to your deals now. So we look together to move forward. One of the core values we have at our company, we have 5 core values that we talk about all the time. One of them is the simple principle of we, not I. We value teamwork at our core. And that is how we choose to go to market. We want to go to market with you. We're excited to take this journey with you. Thank you.